Welcome along to the BoyleSports Bet Zone with me, Nigel Seeley. I hope you all had a very happy Christmas and your bank balance being boosted by the 14-to-1 festive fourfold that I gave you all on Christmas Eve. And you'll be delighted to hear that Chris Perry is away spending his Christmas money and he's very happy with his winnings. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by former Sheffield Wednesday, Charlton and Southampton striker, Flash Gordon-Watson. Good morning to you, Flash.
Merry Christmas, Nige.
Merry Christmas, mate, to you. You're not a big fan of Christmas, are you?
No, I don't like Christmas. It's for the kids, and I'm a proper Grinch. Not enough sport on the TV for me.
Oh, Boxing Day was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's no good. What about Christmas Day?
Oh, well, there you go.
You just can't please some people.
Well, before we go on to the betting, let's talk about the football and the festival. What's all this about these football players? 50 grand a week, 60 grand a week. Oh, we've got to play 2 games a week. What's all that about?
Can't work it out, to be honest. I'm not about the money, just we want to play every day. I'd have played 7 days a week rather than trained. I hate your training, so playing a game was the best thing. And I think I actually said back in 93 or 94 on Match of the Day, it's not a hard life being a footballer.
It certainly isn't, but it is a hard life being a pundit here on the Bet Zone, and we got Flash in to earn the big money for this one today. Let's have a look at the first game, 12:45, New Year's Day fixtures we're looking at. Stoke against Manchester United, Mark Hughes against his former side. Stoke with a bit of form here. They've only lost once in their last 5 matches. That was against Chelsea. Can they upset Man United in this one, Flash?
Not for me. I do like Stoke. Not actually in this game, but I mean I've seen them quite a few times this season, and they flatter to DC for me. If they get themselves in front, they're obviously tough. I think it's a myth that it's a tough place to go. I think that Man United, with the front 5 that they've got going forward, are just far too superior. Stoke are not like the Stoke of old. So for me, I'd want to be with Man United.
Man United are 20-23 here. 5 of the last 7 Stoke home games, both teams have scored. I quite like that at an industry best 5-6 with BoyleSports. I'm pleased to say, Flash, you disagree with me on that?
I do. I think Man United will win to 0. I think it's a bit of a myth that Man United defence has been really shaky. But outside Chelsea and Southampton, I think that on the road they've let in not too many goals. So for me, I'd want to be Man United to win to 0.
Both teams have scored though in 5 of the last 8 Manchester United matches. Manchester United have only lost once at their last 14, and last time out was a 0-0 draw. If we're going to play the double bubble, first goal scorer, where are you going to go?
I'd like to go with Falcao. Falcao, yeah, he keeps going in there, and he's just not sorting himself out. I think he's having a little mini panic up, so the more he goes in there, I think one will probably go in off his knee. I think Falcao will give you a run for your money, because whenever that ball goes in the box, he's there or thereabouts. Well,
Falcao famously had a #1 hit many years ago with Rockme Amadeus. He's 4-1 to score the first goal in this game. I'm personally, if you're going to go for goals, Van Persie's the man at 4-1. Rooney playing that midfield role at 9-2, no value for me. But if you do have a bet on the first goal scorer, remember BoyleSports will give you double the odds if your first goal scorer scores inside the first 20 minutes in all Premier League games on the New Year's Day fixture list. So let's move on to BT Sport. 3 o'clock kick-off. Champions Manchester City at home to Sunderland. Man City are odds on 2-9, the shortest price on the Premier League coupon this week. They were prevented from getting their 10 perfect wins in a 2-2 draw against Burnley when they were 1-100 in running. Will they get back to winning ways here, Flash?
God, a brave man says they won't, but I mean, you've got to think that Man City, they've just got to turn up and keep doing what they're doing, and then letting the 2 goals in against Burnley, I don't see that they'll do it again. So for me, I'd like to see Man City, and again Sunderland over the last few years, they've been the side that have gone there and caused an upset. But for me, Man City to win to 0, I definitely want to be with them. If
you are a season ticket holder at Sunderland or fan of the season, you won't be in the festive fun. They must be the most boring team to follow in the Premier League. They drew 0-0 at Villa. That was their 6th 0-0 draw this season, and 4 of their last 8 games have been 0-0.
And Villa were down to 10 men for the majority of the second half. They only scored, I think, outside the 90th minute in the week before against Newcastle. So for me, Man City, Sunderland to draw a blank again, and I'd go for Samir Nasri to score.
Samir Nasri, let's hope he does score. He's in my Premier League fantasy team. I took out Eden Hazard
on that, then.
I took out Hazard and put in Nasri. What about that?
No way.
Yeah, terrible decision. Terrible decision. 11 draws this season for Sunderland, more than any team in the Premier League. It was 4-1 earlier on the season at the Etihad. At the Stadium of Light. I think Man City win this. I think they win this to 0. Sunderland will park the bus at 10-11. It's my banker of the New Year's Day sort-of winner of Man City to win to 0 at 10-11. Okay, another 3 o'clock kick-off, not live on the television. It's Southampton, your former club. They're at home to Arsenal. How do you see this one?
I hate this game. I hate it. I mean, if Giroud was playing, I'd say that I fancy Southampton. But because Giroud will not play, I think that Arsenal might have a little bit too much movement. This is on the back of Southampton playing against Chelsea and getting a very good 1-1 draw. I've got to go with Arsenal. I've got to go with Arsenal, but I think it could be an end-to-end game. Arsenal
have now just one defeat in their last 9 matches. They played twice already this season. Arsenal did win 1-0 at the Etihad. Very luckily, Forster put in a fantastic performance in their game. Southampton had chances, but they did beat them in the Capital One Cup.
Yeah, and that's the, don't get me on that Capital One Cup with Southampton getting knocked out by Sheffield United. I was there, especially after they went to Arsenal and won. They went to Stoke and won. But in the league this year, Southampton have been an absolute credit. I see this could be a 1-2, maybe a 2-2. I see goals in it. I just can't find the will to say that Southampton are going to win.
Let's have a look at the goal markets. Both teams have scored in 4 of their last 5 years in this fixture. And if you look at Arsenal, they've scored in 27 of their 30 games this season. The last 3 matches between these two sides at St Mary's have been draws, but they've all been seen goals, Flash.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at the type of players that have actually scored against Southampton. You look at Eden Hazard. I mean, I put Santi Cazorla back into that type of frame with quick feet around the box. So, I mean, I've got to go for probably tip Arsenal to win, both teams to score, and I'd go for Cazorla or Oxlade-Chamberlain against his old side. Yeah,
both teams to score is 8-11, and remember, if you are going to do a goal scorer, Cazorla or Oxlade-Chamberlain, BoyleSports will double the odds if that first goal is inside the first 20 minutes. A great way to start the new year. OK, the final game, 5:30, BT Sport. Tottenham entertaining Chelsea in an all London derby. 2 informed sides at the moment, though.
Well, listen, Tottenham, they are the flatterers. They have got away with absolute murder. I've seen them play against 10 men on 3 or 4 occasions this year. They've scored in the last 5 minutes on 4 or 5 occasions. They're saying that it's down to their fitness. They should have been 6-0 down against Man United over the festive period. Chelsea all the way for me. I think Chelsea are machine-like.
Spurs haven't lost at home since November, but they very rarely beat Chelsea whenever they play, more so at Stamford Bridge. It was 1-1 last season, though, Flash, and they did draw 0-0 with Man United.
Yeah, they did. They got away with murder. I mean, Lloris was outstanding, and Man United were guilty of missing gilt-edged chances. But I see Chelsea winning this game, and I think they could shut Tottenham out as well.
It was 3-0 early in the season at Stamford Bridge a couple of weeks ago. If you're looking for a goal scorer, where we go for the double bubble?
Well, I'd like to see Oscar score, to be honest. I mean, he didn't play against Southampton. He did play well against West Ham, and Oscar's going to be a bit fresher than some of the others. So if he plays, I'd like to be with Oscar.
A lot of Oscars going around in the game with Diving, with Ivanovic and all the other players, but Oscar, for the right reasons, could be the goal scorer. I like Chelsea to win to 0, 21-10. Chelsea just do always win to 0. I was very disappointed with their performance against Southampton conceding that goal, but I think Chelsea to win to 0. Now, this is the big news. This is the time where I give you the tip, and this is where you want to start your new year. It's a New Year's Day fourfold. I'm going for both teams to score yes in Stoke v Man United. Don't listen to what Flash has to say. At 5-6, that's the industry best from BoyleSports. Man City to win to 0 is my banker at 10-11. Both teams to score yes in Southampton v Arsenal, and Chelsea to win to 0, a little bit bigger than 2-1. Like, look at
3
that.
out of 4 you've got there. That's not bad at all.
As Meatloaf would say, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Flash, what's your nap?
I've got to go for Chelsea to win to 0.
Chelsea to win to 0 at 21-10. Before we go, I'd like to wish you all a very happy New Year. What are you up to, Flash?
I'm getting ready for New Year's Eve. I like New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely like New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Little twinkle in your eye there,
I like to go out one year and come back the next.
Exactly. Well, whatever you do, have a great time. Enjoy your bets and make sure you come join us for next week's BoyleSports Bet Zone.